All right, so starting off, I'm seeing that your energy in the Eight of Swords position here is that there is a lot of mental entrapment you might be feeling in the month of November. And like I said, maybe even at this point now, with this is things that come your way, feelings, emotions that are making you feel entrapped emotionally. Maybe you're feeling a little bit depressed, or maybe you're revisiting some things that are dark about yourself, but there's definitely something here that is keeping you trapped mentally. Now, what is crossing you is the Page of Coins. You might be trying to shake this off because a part of you is really enthusiastic about getting some things done, going out into the world and completing some goals that you have. But there definitely is something that is keeping you mentally trapped and finding it hard to, have this excitement, this bold enthusiasm. But there is a youthful curiosity that you might have. There might be something that you're trying to discover here, and you're just really conflicted between the two. This is also a message, so there might be a message that has come your way that has you feeling really excited. It could have to do with finances or health, but you're not really able to celebrate the news or to get on this path of pursuing this discovery because of the mental entrapment. I also see here that with the Six of Swords, you may have walked away or are deciding to walk away from a situation that you're feeling no longer serves you, or you might just be wanting to get away because of this mental confliction that you're having, but you are moving away in a direction that says, I've got to get the hell on. And I do believe this is because of the way that you're feeling internally. Now, with the Five of Swords right along the Six of Swords, this is some form of defeat, some form of humiliation. So either within this energy of entrapment, you might be revisiting some things that you're not so happy about when it comes to yourself, or just feeling some insecurities or depression, and you might be feeling like you need to distance yourself from someone, from a situation, because you're internally feeling, some form of humiliation, or you might even feel like you've lost the battle internally. Now, for some of you, you're walking away from someone that makes you feel humiliated. Maybe there was a situation that happened where you feel like this person either bullied you into doing something or said something that had a bullying tone, or you could also be feeling like humiliation. Maybe someone had you doing something, and you thought that it was going to be of good nature, and it ended up to be a aha moment, like I got you now type of thing. And maybe you're feeling like you got bamboozled in some type of way, and that caused you to feel some form of humiliation, and maybe that is why you're in this mental entrapment. So just take it how it resonates. Now, what needs to happen here is there needs to be a release of bondage. You either have some bondage within your mental state at this point in time, and you're feeling some type of anxieties or insecurities, I want to say. And maybe you're going through some mental health issues that are deeper than just depression. But either way, there is a toxic mindset or relationship that is needing to be addressed here. There needs to be a release of this bondage. Now, this could also talk about codependency, could talk about addiction. So you might be someone that is struggling with some form of addiction. When we talk about addiction, of course, we know that there could be drinking and drugs. There's also other forms of addiction. There's sex addictions, there's gambling, there's shopping addictions. There's so many things that could be listed under addictions. So maybe you are someone that internally is struggling with some form of addiction, and this has kept you bound to this substance, to this situation, to this person. But there definitely needs to be a freeing here. Now, if this has to do with an individual, you might be feeling like your partner or someone that you just walked away from definitely holds some type of shackle to you. This could be that the both of you experience this. But in order for you to get out of this mental strife here and be able to embrace this news or embrace this new discovery or go out into the world and partake in these goals that you have for yourself, there does need to be a release here. Now, in the recent past, I am seeing that this has caused a lot of anxiety, a lot of sleepless nights, again, some effects of depression. And so, again, if this is something pertaining to, drugs or alcohol, something like that, this could be your withdrawal state. If this is just simply something internally with, depression, bipolarism, there's so many stages of that, could lead to a lot of sleepless nights, anxieties, and along with other mental health issues. Now, if this isn't the case for you, this could really be something that just has to do with this person. You might be feeling like, you want to release yourself from this person, but you can't. And maybe something tied in with this individual makes you feel very anxious. And that's what I'm seeing for the recent past. Here in the near future, I am saying with the Tower moment, there is going to be a change, a sudden change that does shift things into another gear, which definitely needs to happen. A lot of times when people see the Tower card, they're like, oh shit, something devastating is going to happen. Yes, that definitely can be the case. But a lot of times when you are shackled to something or someone, you're not finding your way out, purposely. Like there's not a way for you to get outside of your head, to get outside of this situation, outside of this relationship. And if it is something that has to do with addictions, a lot of times you can't just get out of it yourself. So if you heard the term rock bottom, having to hit rock bottom, a lot of times rock bottom is your best friend because you're not totally aware of how dysfunctional something is or your behavior has become until something devastating has happened. So for some of you that is resonating with, drugs or alcohol, there is going to be something that does happen that causes a devastation that I believe will be some sort of wake-up call in order for you to get the help that you need. For others that are dealing with someone or feeling shackled to someone, there is going to be either some news that comes your way or something that is said or done in the relationship that causes this Tower moment. Now, what you need to remember with the Tower moment is that the universe, God, whoever you pray to, definitely has your back in this situation, because when we're not able to release certain things, out of our lives, naturally, nature will take its course and intercede into a situation to release you from something that you can't release yourself. So it is a devastation when it happens, but when you look back, a lot of times it's like, wow, I'm so glad that happened. If that wouldn't have happened, I would have been in the same situation, or I would have continued this behavior. So just know that in the near future, a tower moment is inevitable. Now, naturally, of course, the Three of Swords is the outcome of the tower. So we know that there's going to be some loss, there's going to be some heartache, there is going to be, a situation where, maybe you don't like the news, maybe you don't like the words that were said or how the tower actually came down. I mean, nobody really does, right? But just know that with this is definitely a part of healing. I mean, this card doesn't symbolize healing, but you definitely need to feel the hurt, the pain, the emotion behind whatever it is that is, is making you feel the loss. You have to feel the loss in order to mend the heart. Okay, and so there's definitely going to be some painful truth that is revealed. There's going to be a separation, a loss of some sort, betrayal. And this can also speak of emotional numbness. So you might become emotionally numb due to whatever this tower moment brings along with it. Now, what you're hoping or fearing, and there's 2 case scenarios here. Actually 3. For some of you, you're hoping that, if this is a love interest, that this person still sees some beauty in you, someone still is attracted to you, okay? You're hoping for that. For others of you, you might be hoping that you are pregnant during this time. Maybe this is what the mental entrapment is. This could symbolize, pregnancy or rebirth. So the last case scenario I'm seeing is that if you did move away from someone because it is a toxic situation and you know that there is a third party at hand, you might be fearing that this person could be pregnant, or the news that comes this way, the devastating news that, comes in with this tower moment is that you might hear word of mouth that someone is pregnant here. And so this is something that I'm seeing that could be a possibility. Now, again, don't freak out. This might not be, for everyone. That might not be the part of the message that's for you. But just putting it out here. So it might just be that you're hoping that this person is still attracted to you and still sees you as, a comforting, loving individual that they could see themselves with. Empress could also symbolize like baby mama. So if you're dealing with someone that does have baby mama, maybe you are fearing that the mother of your love interest or partner's children's mother is back into the picture somehow. Now, with the Page of Cups being the outside influence, this is, I see this in so many different ways, and I'm hearing a lot of different case scenarios. So with the Page of Cups, this is a very immature offer. So this is someone that is coming to you that's going to be like, I love you, I love you, right? Or, when I get myself together, I'm going to, do X, Y, and Z. Can I take you out tonight? This is someone that is coming with a very immature type of offer. And although it could be genuine, it's just something that you're not needing right now. You're needing something that is a little bit more solid, especially with all of the emotions you have here. Now, again, the Page of Cups can also speak of pregnancy. So there could be someone that comes your way that lets you know that they are pregnant, or there could be news that comes that says, this is the situation I'm in, my ex is pregnant, or I got someone pregnant. But I do want to be with you. So there could be something like that coming this way. Now, again, if pregnancy is not playing into your current situation at all, it's just a very immature type of offer that comes your way. Now, the influence that you're going to have in the situation is that you are going to be a very compassionate type of individual when it comes to this situation. This is going to be your energy. Excuse me. So whatever comes your way in this Tower moment, I don't know why during this reading I'm having I'm starting to have some difficulty breathing almost. And I think I've mentioned before on other videos, because I'm an empath, I tend to pick up on some energy that I'm reading off of. And so this is very heavy. This is really deep. So although all of this crappy stuff has happened and the news might not be great that comes your way, and the bullshit offer and the Tower moment, and there might be, a pregnancy at hand, you could be the one that's saying, that you're pregnant, and, because you've walked away from this person because you know that it is toxic, you could be the one that's coming and saying, I'm in fear that I'm pregnant, or I am pregnant, and this person giving you some type of immature response to that, like, I'm going to be here for you and the baby, right? Something like that. You are going to have some type of compassionate gestures here or mindset. Although this is very dark, this is very murky, there is going to be some compassion that you still hold for this person in the situation, is what I'm trying to say. So again, however this resonates, I am going to look at your love advice cards that I have pulled and have not exposed yet. So we're going to visit those together. I'm going to start this way and over because that's how they came out. So let's see. Codependency. All right. We just talked about that with the Devil card. It says addictions are affecting your romantic life. So here we're seeing it again. Now, we did already talk about it. This could be an addiction, or this could be a codependency on this person, vice versa, or the both of you could be codependent. But definitely there is some codependency playing into this situation. Whoops. And we know that it's definitely affecting the relationship. Let me grab that here. Now, the next thing I'm seeing is that we did get the reconciliation card, but it was in reverse. So someone from your past life is returning to your life. Because it was in reverse, I'm going to take it in reverse. I do think that either yourself is not going to decide to reconcile with this person at this point in time. I think with this very immature offer that comes your way, and because everything that you've been through, and because you are trying to release yourself from this toxic situation, I don't see you reconciling with them possibly ever, or just not at this very moment. Now, the third card that came out was Love Yourself First. It says your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So what I'm getting with that, of course, it's pretty plain to be, you definitely need to love yourself. So if you are someone that is, dealing with some form of addiction or mental health, you definitely need to, to help yourself and love yourself first.